All right, Senator Ted Cruz joins us now. Sir, good to have you back on the show. Chris Wray over the FBI is trying to do everything in his power, it seems, to keep the details of this corruption allegation against the president private. He's going to walk this over, but he doesn't want it to be released to the public. Why do you think he's doing this?
Well, look, I think it is unfortunate that Chris Wray has circled the wagons defending the corrupt and hardcore partisans that have burrowed into senior positions at the FBI. I think that's the wrong decision for the director of the FBI to make. I've known Chris Wray a long time. I've urged him that his priority should be bringing integrity back to the FBI, and that means exposing the partisan corruption at the senior career levels. It means getting rid of people who have unfortunately compromised the integrity of the agency. Chris Wray hadn't been willing to do so, but I will say this. This is a victory for the House Republicans and Representative Comer that he forced Wray at least to buckle under and bring over the information about the allegation that Joe Biden was involved in bribery from a foreign country. That's a big deal. That information needs to be made public. It shouldn't be in this ridiculous private setting, given that this is not classified material, but it is an incremental step towards holding accountable the abuse and politicization we've seen at the FBI and the Department of Justice.
Yeah, and the corruption of the man that's now the president of the United States as well.
Yeah.
We talk about, the last time they had this big press conference, Republicans had this big press conference, they arrest George Santos at the same time. Didn't seem like a coincidence to me. It seemed like a perfect distraction. The media didn't cover it. The media is not going to want to cover this, what's happening on Monday when this file is walked over there. They're not going to want to talk about it. Do you think there's going to be some convenient distraction?
Oh, I'm sure there will be. And Rob, as you know, the corporate media is profoundly corrupt. They are broken. Donald Trump broke the corporate media. And they no longer even aspire to be journalists, to present the facts, to present both sides. They now view their mission as propagandists. They are now actively, they're not just Democrats. They are the left wing of the Democrat Party. They are covering up for the corruption of the Biden White House, and they are attacking Republicans and especially Donald Trump. They are filled with hatred. They will not cover the overwhelming evidence of corruption within the Biden family. As you know, I do a podcast 3 days a week, Verdict with Ted Cruz. We beat CNN every week because we've had over 60 million downloads, and we've gone into great detail about all of the facts involving Joe Biden's corruption, his family's corruption, the more than a dozen family members who've received millions of dollars from the Chinese communists. None of that is covered by the corporate media because it is inconsistent with their narrative and their protection of this president.
And people wonder how the media can sleep at night with how they've how they've departed from their mission. And I truly believe it's because they've convinced themselves that Republicans are really fascists and that they're saving the country from actual Nazism. I think they've actually convinced themselves of that so that they can actually do this and not feel like just total traitors and phonies and all these other things that they've become. I want to ask real quickly just about the debt ceiling. You guys in the Senate passed it late last night. It's another $4 trillion dumped onto our future generations. You voted no. Tell me why.
It's a lousy deal. It makes the country worse off. We have $32 trillion in national debt as of last night. We're going to add $4 more trillion to that. And there's a reason today that Joe Biden and the Democrats are popping champagne and celebrating, because they got Republican leadership to roll over and fund almost the entirety of Biden's Green New Deal agenda. They got the Republicans to fund almost the entirety of the spending spree that has happened the last 2.5 years. And we are bankrupting our country. I think we should have used the leverage we had to fight for real and more significant spending cuts. And unfortunately, almost all of the spending cuts that the House Republicans initially passed, the Biden White House succeeded in getting stripped from this bill. I think it's a lousy bill. And
I think in both houses, there are more Democrats supporting it than Republicans. And if you want to know what a lousy deal looks like, that's what a lousy deal looks like. They were more excited to vote for it. Ted Cruz, Senator, thank you so much for taking the time. We do appreciate it.